going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be doing a airport update of my replica of Honolulu International Airport. I'm feeling a bit sick, so I do apologize if my voice is off, but without further ado, let's get straight into the airport update. Starting off with this Hawaiian 787-9 Dreamliner. This aircraft is just touching down as it arrived in from JFK. Hawaiian did purchase 10 of the 787-9 Dreamliners, but they are not currently in service, so this is just doing a test flight from JFK. Next up, we have this gorgeous Alaska 737-900ER in the split scimitar winglets. This aircraft is in the One World livery and will be pulling onto the runway shortly for a flight out to Seattle. Second in line for takeoff, we have this United 767-300. This is a gorgeous model, and I'm so happy to put it in the airport update. This will be heading out to Chicago. The next aircraft we haven't seen in quite a while, this is the United 757-200, her Art Here livery. This aircraft will be heading out to San Francisco after the other United aircraft takes off. Next up, we have this gorgeous Hawaiian Airbus A330-200. This aircraft is in the old livery and will be operating a flight out to Portland. It is pretty rare that they use the A330 on the Portland route, so it's so nice to see them using it. Next up, we have this Japan Airlines 767 in a quite gorgeous livery. This aircraft will be departing for a flight out to Osaka. And just passing over the bridge here, we have the Hawaiian 717 in the old livery, just pulling off the runway as it just arrived in from Lihue. Next, we're going to be moving on to our little cargo section here. We do have this Prime Air aircraft, 767, loading on the crew, as well as you can see the Amazon Prime semi-trucks in front of it loading on cargo. This will be heading out to Riverside, operating under Atlas Air. And following that, we have this UPS Worldwide Services 747-800 freighter. This just arrived in from Osaka and will be heading back out to Osaka. We are going to be going in reverse order from what I usually do. We'll be starting off with Terminal 3, then Terminal 2, then Terminal 1. Terminal 3 is mainly for United, Philippine Airlines, Qantas, Southwest, all of that jazz. So we'll start off with this United 777-200ER, just arriving in from Chicago and will be heading out to Denver. As you can see, it is loading on the passengers and getting catered. Next up, we do have this Philippine Airlines Airbus A330-300. This aircraft just pulled into the gate from Manila and will be heading back out to Manila. And next up, we have this Qantas 787-9 Dreamliner in the 100 years anniversary livery. This aircraft will be heading out to Sydney and arrived in from Sydney about an hour ago. A lot of people do ask me where I get all of these models from, so I did put a link in the description if you want to order some of these models for a pretty cheap price. It's called Midwest Model Store. That's where I get all my models from, and they have a great selection of models. So just go to my description and click the link and it'll bring you to the entire store and all of the aircrafts you can buy. Continuing on with the airport update, taxiing between Terminal 2 and Terminal 3, we have the Southwest 737 MAX 8 arriving in from San Jose and will be heading back out to San Jose. Alright, moving on to Terminal 2, which houses Alaska, Southwest, Delta, AirCanada, United, Hawaiian, American, and many other airlines. We have this Alaska 737-900ER in the Our Commitment livery. Just getting ready to push back for the flight out to Portland. It is currently loading on the passengers as well as getting catered. For the most part, Southwest does park at the hard stands off of Terminal 3. but they also do park at Terminal 2. So here we have this Southwest 737 MAX 8 loading on the baggage for a inter-island flight out to Kahului, which is on the island of Maui. I'm not sure if Freedom 1 has visited Honolulu yet, but I imagine it will at some point. So here we have the gorgeous Southwest Airlines Freedom 1. This is their 50th anniversary livery. It is currently loading on the passengers to head out to San Diego. At the tip of the terminal, we do have this Delta 757-300ER. I know they do board the second door, so they use the jetway on the second door, but it won't reach that far, unfortunately. But this aircraft will be pushing back shortly for the flight out to Atlanta. This is also known as the Flying Pencil. Moving right along, we do have this Delta Airbus A330-300. A pretty big aircraft, but it does fit at Terminal 2. This aircraft will be pushing back shortly for the flight out to Seattle. I did not realize AirCanada was using their Dreamliners again to Honolulu, but here we have the AirCanada 787-8. This will be heading out to Toronto. Moving right along to our next aircraft. This is an aircraft we have not seen at Honolulu in a very long time, and it is the United 737 MAX 9. This aircraft will be heading out to San Francisco. It is currently loading on the passengers as well as the catering truck is catering the aircraft. Just pushing back out of the gate here, we have the Hawaiian Airbus A321neo. This aircraft is pushing back for the flight out to Long Beach. And for the last aircraft at Terminal 2, we have this American Airbus A321. This is in the stand-up to cancer livery and is pushing back for the flight out to Los Angeles. Moving right along over to Terminal 1, we do have this Hawaiian Airbus A330-200. This aircraft is pushing back shortly for the flight out to Los Angeles, and it arrived in from San Francisco. Next up, we have this Japan Airlines 787-9 Dreamliner loading on the passengers, as well as you can see the baggage getting loaded onto the aircraft. This will be heading out to Tokyo Narita. And right next to that, we have this Hawaiian Airbus A330-200 in the new colors. This just arrived in from Brisbane and will be heading out to Auckland. So it is nice to see the Hawaiian aircrafts doing some international flights after a long time of not doing them. Moving right along, we have this gorgeous ANA Airbus A380 in the Flying Honu livery. This aircraft will be heading out to Tokyo Narita. It's currently loading on the passengers as well as the baggage. And following that, we do have this WestJet 737 MAX 8. This aircraft is offloading the passengers and getting fueled up for its next flight out to Calgary. And finally, for Terminal 1, we do have this Hawaiian Airbus A321neo. This aircraft is currently loading on the cleaning crew and will be pushing back shortly for the flight out to Las Vegas. Moving on to the inter-island terminal, which is strictly for the Hawaiian 717 aircrafts. We have this Hawaiian 717. This aircraft will be heading out to Hilo, and it is currently loading on the passengers. And following that, we do have another Hawaiian 717. This aircraft will be heading out to Kona. That does conclude this airport update of Honolulu International Airport. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did end up liking the video, please consider leaving a like as it helps support me, and subscribing to the channel because that motivates me to make more videos like this, as well as it is free. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Feel free to leave a comment on any thoughts, concerns, or anything you'd like to tell me, because I always respond to all of the comments. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.